Okay. I think this should be good now. I think like GarageBand updated or something. It has literally taken me way too long to figure this mic out. It's been so long since I did this. But anyway, hi. I'm back. Kind of. This isn't gonna be a long episode because I literally just during lunch I was listening to like a different podcast and I was like, oh, I should get back on this. So I don't really have I don't really have anything to talk about. I just have kind of random things. So I guess updates on my life. Oh yeah, for if it's your first time listening, which I doubt it is, because only the people who are friends with me listen to this. But my name's Elizabeth or Zippy. Freshman in college, psychology major and a dance minor. Yeah. Okay, so updates on my life. So I legitimately don't even remember what was the last episode I did was with my roommate and my friend. Yeah. Yeah. So I legitimately don't even remember what's happened between then and now. Well, sorry, our fridge is super loud. Yeah, I don't know. I guess classes have gotten harder. I just have like so much work. Actually, last night I had a quiz that I was supposed to do for homework and I completely forgot about it, so I got a 0. So there's that. Yeah. I probably should have emailed my professor, but like at the time that I realized that I had forgotten, it was like I was getting in bed. It was like 11:30 or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, so there's that. I have been so tired recently. Daylight savings is the worst thing that's ever happened. Okay, that's a lot. There are a lot worse things about America than just the daylight savings, but that's one of the worst things. As someone who lived in a country that didn't have daylight savings, I can confirm that was a bad one. I know I'm not making any sense. There are just words coming out of my mouth, and that's fine. I I really don't know what to say. Oh, last night I had a dream about my ex coming to like sit with me and my friends and like talk to us and be like actual friends with us, and it was really weird because like he was so like calm and like he's a very awkward person, but he was like so like calm and confident. I was like, dang, he really changed. But like my friends were acting like it was completely normal for him to come and like hang out with us. It was very weird. Because especially because the two friends who were with me in my dream were absolutely not the kind of people to like, you know, like they're the kind of people who would like, if they see him, they're like, oh, we're gonna beat him up, like. So yeah. I reorganized all my stuff over spring break. I mean, it wasn't really spring break. It was like we had a 4-day weekend. But yeah, I like took everything out of like my like storage bins and like repacked it all and sent like a bunch of like sweaters and stuff home with my parents who came like down to visit me, which was really fun. My stuffed animals are all staring at me. Hi guys. All the little chickies have their little blankets on. They're very cute. What else has been going on? yeah, I mean, so I had that dream last night about my ex, which is really funny because in real life he like basically runs away from me every time he sees me. So that's great. There's been a little bit of drama going on here in the dorm, but that's fine. We'll be out of this dorm in 7 weeks. It'll be fine. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Okay. Great. Dance has been going well. I'm potentially teaching musical theater next year, which is exciting. We have our concert, or not concert, I don't know why I said concert. Concert is not what you do for dance. We have our performance on April 17th, so it's like a month away. A little bit stressful because some of our classes have really long songs and we're not even halfway through. But yeah, and then trying to think, what else am I involved in? Nothing. Oh, I pulled my muscle in dance. That's fun. Yeah, I just stretched way too hard, and like it's a muscle that's like I can't remember what muscle it is. I don't know. I'm not an athletic person, but it's like a pretty common one for dancers to pull. It's like I don't know. It's one that's like I don't even know how to describe where it is. It's like your upper inner thigh. And it really hurts. But like it's like so deep underneath like tendons, I guess, or like because it's like around like your like the back of your hip joint, and so it just feels very weird. And it's like it doesn't feel like you can really like ow, see, that was my hip. It doesn't feel like you can really massage it or anything. So ow, maybe you can though. I don't know, you just have to sit, because how you get a pulled muscle there is by doing something that your body is really not supposed to be doing, like the splits. And so yeah, and so that's how I got it, and so that's the position you have to be in order to like get at it. Ow, oh my gosh, I'm like trying to like figure out exactly where like the pain is. I don't know, maybe I'm just bruising myself. Yeah, so that's an event. What else? I have a friend who's going to be my roommate next year, so that's fun. And we know what dorm we're going to be in because she's going to be an RA, so that's exciting. Yeah, we've been hanging out quite a bit. Actually, I need to text her and see if she wants to hang out tonight, although I don't know what me and my current roommate are up to tonight. But yeah, so that's been really fun. We've been hanging out a lot. I bought like some painting supplies from Amazon, and we like went out and painted a little bit together. And tonight I'm gonna see if she wants to paint flower pots with me, because they're having like an activity, like one of the like community service centers on campus is having like a flower pot painting event. So yeah, I might see if she wants to go to that. Work has been unbearable. It's not fun. It's just really not. I am tired of cleaning bathrooms and standing for that long. Well, it's like standing and then bending over and picking stuff up and then standing up again and then just cleaning toilets and whatever. It's not that it's even that gross. It's just so like wet in there because like you use like this power washer and you spray it everywhere and like I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm tired of work. I just want to sleep on the weekend for once. This is like a random thing, but I have been seeing grapes everywhere on campus. Like not planted grapes, like just grapes from like the little like containers of them that you can buy in or that you can like get in the cafeteria. I don't know why there are grapes everywhere. Like it's just like all of a sudden there's just grapes all over the ground everywhere. It's like, and sometimes they're like squished or whatever. And I'm like, how did you get here? How did you get here? Who abandoned you? Like, I don't know. It's very weird, but like, cause like I'll just be walking around and I'll be like, what is that in the grass? And then it's grapes, huh? And like even like when I was like walking back from lunch, I was like thinking about that. I was like, I should talk about this on the pod. And then I was like walking back and there were grapes right outside of like the door to our building. I was like, hey, how did these get here? And they just like are there and no one cleans them up. I mean, I'm part of the problem. I don't clean them up either. But like, why? Are people really that clumsy that they drop like a million grapes outside the door? I mean, like outside the door there were only 3, but like there's so many in the grass, and it's in the grass where like no one walks either. Like in the bushes. Like if you don't want your grapes, I guess like if they're like squishy or whatever, but like just keep them in the container and then throw them away with the container. Don't just leave grapes everywhere on campus. It's not that hard to not put your grapes on like the sidewalk and stuff. Oops. Yeah, so sidewalk grapes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that has been going on. I don't know. My life has been really boring recently. I have dry skin. Just looking at my arm and realizing how dry my skin is. It's very bad. It's like so itchy. Yeah, so I'm very excited for the weather to not be cold and dry. Oh, the wind today. There we go. That's a topic. The wind is so bad today. Like, I mean, I'm a small person, so like obviously like when the wind is like strong, I'm like ah. But like even like people way bigger than me were like struggling to walk around. Like it was so cold and so windy. Like it's 36 degrees outside, but it feels like 27. And like I know for people who like live in like cold places, they're like, oh, that's not that bad. But listen, it feels cold when the other day it was 72 and you were wearing shorts outside roller skating. So yeah. What else do I have to talk about? This whole podcast is just gonna be me saying what else do I have to talk about. I wrote down mental health breaks. Yeah, so I have not been doing like fantastic recently, mostly this week. Like it was like I was fine, I saw my parents, and then I like came back and I was like, oh. And I like, it was like the second day back, I got hit with like a bunch of tests and just like papers and stuff. So yeah, so I haven't been doing great this week. So yesterday I actually just decided not to go to one of my classes that I like didn't like need to go to. Like we don't do anything in that class. We just like everyone just has to take it. But so I just decided not to go because I was so hungry and I was falling asleep in my favorite class, which it's bad when I'm falling asleep in that class because I love that class. But like, yeah, so I was like falling asleep and I was like crying and stuff. So I decided to just go eat lunch and like take a little break. And so I did, and it felt very good to take a break. And then I went back to class afterwards because we were like reviewing stuff for a test that I need to take sometime this weekend. But yeah, so that's something that I feel like I've learned in college is, I mean, obviously in high school it's different because you don't have the ability to like skip. And especially like if you go to boarding school like I did in high school, then like everyone knows who you are and everyone knows where everyone is like at all times. And so it's like there's nowhere for you to go. So it's not like you can like in anyways, what are you gonna do if you're not in class? Like if you're living in the middle of nowhere in a boarding school like I was. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like school is obviously important, and I do want to value my education, and I do want to appreciate the fact that I can even get a higher education because I know so many people can't. But like on days when your brain is just telling you like the worst things about yourself, like to the point that you can't concentrate, and like you could concentrate but you're so like emotionally and physically like out of energy that you just can't do it, and so you're just like, I'm either gonna fall asleep or I'm gonna stay awake and I'm going to think the worst things about myself ever. Like honestly the best choice is to just get yourself out of that situation and just go somewhere where you can basically get your mind off of it. And it's hard to do that when you're sitting in class and you're supposed to be paying attention, and you know you're supposed to be paying attention, and then you're not. So yeah, I mean, and it's hard. This was the first time I've ever like skipped a class with no reason, and that's even one of the classes where he like takes attendance and stuff. But I like decided to completely skip it. I didn't even go on Zoom. Like at first I considered going on Zoom, and I was like, well, what am I gonna gain from being on Zoom? Like it's not like I really need this class. I just need to pass it. Like, and I know that's like a really bad mindset to have, but like when you're struggling to get through even the classes that you want to be in, you kind of just have to decide what's a priority. Like, do you want to like do well in a class but hate yourself, or do you want to learn to feel better about yourself, and then along with that start like figuring out your own way of like learning in school? And like I love learning, I really do, but like on days when you're struggling to love yourself, it's hard to love what you're learning too, if you don't feel like, especially if you don't feel like it's necessary. And especially because I'm such a person who's like very like purpose driven. I'm like, this needs to be something that I can use to help others, because that's what I feel like God's called me to do. Is I'm supposed to help others and like show compassion and empathy for others. And so it's hard to apply that to some like subjects. Like for developmental psychology, I'm like, okay, like we're getting into like adolescence now, and so like I'm starting to get into the like stage of like human life where I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. But like babies and preschoolers, I'm like, you can sometimes be cute, but oh my gosh, once you start crying, that's it. Like, sorry, but I can't do kids. Like, and sometimes I think they're cute, but then at the same time, it's like, I think they're cute, but then when I was like in class and we were talking about like pregnancy and whatever, I like legitimately felt so sick because I hate the idea of pregnancy. Like, it's so gross. Why is there's another human inside you, and everyone's like, oh, the miracle of birth. Like, and I know, like, it's like your life, like, changes when you have a kid. And I know that. And I know, like, from my mom saying that, because she didn't want kids. And so, like, and, like, she's been, like, the best mom ever. But, like, I just don't, I don't see a single bit of appeal in children. They're just, like, no. You can't rationalize with them. You can't, like, be like, okay, here's, like, the facts. Like, because they just don't have the mental capacity for it. It's just frustrating. I would, like, absolutely, like, this sounds horrible. I would have to try so hard not to, like, hit a kid. Oh, I would be the worst teacher, which is why I'm not being a teacher. But yeah, but that's just how, thankfully, that's not what I feel like God has called me to. And I mean, obviously he doesn't. I do think he, like, does call us to things sometimes that, like, we're like, oh, really? Do we have to do that? But, like, he obviously gives us talents for a reason, and so I think we're supposed to use those for him. I mean, and obviously if God tells me to go take care of preschoolers, I'll do it. I really don't want to, but I will. Yeah. but yeah. So anyway, for those of you in college, if you need to take a few, like, hours off of school, or if you need to take a nap, do that. Like, I'm gonna take a nap right after this, I think. And then I'll call my dad about taxes at, like, 2 or something. Oh, which is, like, the worst thing ever. Taxes are dumb. Anyway, but yeah, just take a break if you need to. Like, I don't remember who said this, but someone was like, we'd rather be asking you where you were in class than, like, going to your funeral. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, that's true. Like, just do not, especially for, like, my former, like, not gifted students, but, like, honors students, like, anyone who is considered really smart in high school and is potentially in, like, the honors program now in college. Like, I know, like, we have so much pressure on us. Like, you have to do well and you have to be super invested in learning, and, oh, you're an honor student, of course you're gonna want to go to all these extra events because you're smart and whatever, or because you're a hard worker, or because you're good at writing essays, which seems to be what the Messiah honors program is based on, which is dumb. But like, yeah, but, like, I'm an overachiever. I mean, for the most part, like, when my mental health isn't getting in the way of my motivation. But I remember meeting, like, honors kids here for the first time and being so shocked. Like, everything's a competition. Everything. You have to get the best grades. You, like, and you're like, oh my gosh, my parents, like, and, like, I have amazing parents who don't pressure me, but so many people, but even if you have good parents who don't pressure you, or if you have parents who do, like, who are like, do your best, I know, like, who are not necessarily like, I know you can do better, but, like, I believe in you and I know you're a smart person, like, things like that. Like, it doesn't matter how supportive your parents are, you're always gonna be like, this isn't good enough, I'm not doing good enough. Like, if it's not perfect, then it's not good enough. And even if it is perfect, this is something I struggled with in high school, but, like, even if it is perfect, it doesn't feel good enough. Like, nothing is ever gonna feel good enough. And, like I used to get, like, consistent, like, 100s and stuff, and I would be like, yeah, but, like, I still don't like myself. Like, getting good grades isn't gonna make you like yourself, or isn't gonna make you happy, even though you feel like it will. But so then you just keep trying to get those grades because you're like, maybe one day it'll feel good enough, which is horrible. But yeah, basically, if you're in college, take a break. If you're in high school, find a way to take a break. Like, I know some people's parents like firmly disagree with the idea of like a mental health day or whatever, but like, actually, I was talking to one of my psych professors this morning about like mental health and stuff, and she was like, if you like, you need, like, make sure you're getting the help you need, because like, if you have a broken arm, you're gonna go to the doctor, and so if you have something going on in your head, go to a therapist. Like, that's so important. Like, your mental health is just as important, if not more important, than your physical health, because obviously mental health problems can and do for some people lead to death. And so, I mean, which sounds horrible, but it's true. And so, yeah, it's just take care of yourself. But yeah, if you're in high school, maybe talk to your parents about, like, if you feel like you need a mental health day. Like, obviously don't, like, I don't know, I would say like make sure like your parents or someone you trust like knows like the situation, like, so that way they can, like, my mom, oh my gosh, she would be able to tell if I was like just trying to get out of class. Which, by the time we're in college, it's kind of not even worth it to do that, because most classes you're taking are classes you chose, so it's your own fault that you're in them. But yeah, like, and so like my mom would know if I was just being like, I don't want to go to class, so I'm just not gonna go. Like, and there's a difference between like truly needing a break and being like, oh, I'm just gonna give up. Like, I know when is my giving up and when is my like when I just am giving up, or when I am like, I truly can't take this anymore. So I recommend for high schoolers, either ask your parents to like give you permission to take a mental health day, especially for now. Like, a lot of people are doing online school with COVID, and so yeah, so just like be like, hey, I'm gonna take like a day off. Or if you have like asynchronous school, then either do a lot of extra work on a day you feel really motivated, so you're ahead, and then you can take a day off later, or just don't do your work. It sounds awful, but like, I could have easily gotten into the college I'm in without having cried like pretty much every single day of my junior year about school. Like, yeah, it's just, sometimes it's just not worth it. Like, it's not worth it to be miserable and have good grades. And like, yeah, it's just not. But yeah, and for those of you who are going to college soon, or who are like taking a gap year and then going to college or whatever, or who are just in high school, learn to figure out like when your breaking point is sounds a little bit extreme, but that is kind of what I'm going for. Like, learn to distinguish when you go from, oh, I just don't want to do this, I'm giving up, to like when you go from that to, I can't do this anymore. Like, and obviously at some point you're gonna have to push through that, because sometimes you're just gonna have to, and I've done that before. I did that this week. I had my test on Tuesday. I didn't study for it at all over the weekend. I mean, it was also break over the weekend, and so I was like, I'm not studying. And then I studied literally all day Monday, and I got up early on Tuesday morning to study more. And I got 91, which, oh my gosh, when I was in high school I would have cried, because 91 is obviously not good enough, but yeah, and it's like, sometimes you just do have to make those sacrifices. Like, I don't know, for me, it's just like, you just turn off any single emotional part of your brain, and you just go, I'm just going to study. I just have to. And maybe that's unhealthy. I don't know. I haven't taken counseling theories or abnormal psychology yet. But, I mean, it works for me, at least for now. And it's like, everything is just so, like, for now. Like, it doesn't have to be like this forever. And it won't be like this forever. It's just, right now, who I am right now needs this. So, dang, that was deep. I did not expect that to come out of my mouth. But yeah, it's just, yeah, take it day by day. And even if you end up like, I think the hardest thing that I struggle with is like, if you end up like actually, hey, excuse me, no one is allowed to make noise besides me during my podcast. But I struggle a lot with like not feeling like overly guilty. Like, yesterday was the first day that I've ever like skipped class / not paid attention during class and not felt like the worst person ever afterwards. Like, yesterday was, I think, skipping class was probably one of the best decisions like ever. Like, I felt just so much better afterwards. It threw off my vibe a little bit though. But like for my class after that, but that's fine. I'll just study extra. But yeah, I don't know. Just learn when your brain is like, okay, I've had enough, and learn to respect that and be like, okay, I like sometimes you do have to be like, okay, I know you need a break, but we need to get this done first. And like, even just having the mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna work on this paper from 9 until 11:30 or something, and then I will be done. I do not care how far I am. I don't care how good I think it is. I will be done. And honestly, you usually get done a lot faster than you think you will, at least for me. But yeah. And for anyone with like learning disabilities or other like mental health conditions or like any neurodivergent people, like, just like know that there are resources for you. Know you are not the only one going through this. Like, yeah, and like, no, like the way you're experiencing your life and the way you're like living like with your education is completely like valid and normal. Like, there's no such thing as normal. Basically. Like, there really isn't. Like, I'm starting to like come to the conclusion that the only time you're ever allowed to use the word normal is when you're referring to the statistical curve. Like, there just isn't any such thing as normal, and that's fine. So if you need to get extra help, even if you're not neurodivergent and you need extra help, like, this is like the hardest thing ever, but I have highly considered. I haven't done it yet just because like scheduling is weird because we have to do it all on Zoom, but like there's like the learning center here at my school, and then there's also like the Office of Academic Accessibility. I think that's what it's called. I hope that's what it's called, because that would be embarrassing if it's not. But yeah, that's a place that's meant for people who don't learn exactly the same as like the majority of people, or like who just learn differently than the way it's being taught. Like, those resources are there to help you. And as like a perfectionist, it's really hard for me to like sometimes be like, okay, I really do need help with this like concept and stuff, because that's like, I don't know what, like, it shouldn't be embarrassing to be like, hey, can you help me learn this? Like, literally, that's part of being human, is asking other people for help. And that's why community is so important, because you need to be able to ask others for help, because you can't do everything by yourself. And that's really hard. Because I really do want to do everything by myself, but I can't. So yeah, there's never any shame in asking for help or going somewhere to find extra resources to help you learn better, because it's just so important. Like, why should you struggle to learn something just because it's taught a different way? Like, people shouldn't make fun of those with like learning disabilities or who just learn differently in general. Like that's like if you're gonna like extend it, like that's like someone who's like a visual learner being like, oh my gosh, you're a kinesthetic learner? That's so dumb. You're so dumb because you can't learn by listening, and you can only learn by like picking things up with your hands and like messing with them yourself. Like, you don't make fun of people for that. So like, first of all, why does it matter that someone learns differently? Like, you're still learning. Like, and as far as I know, like, I mean, obviously, like, the, like, not restrictions, it's like literally the opposite of restrictions. What's the word? I don't know, like the help, I guess, they can give you is different for each person, because like some people, like, as far as I know, the Office of Accessibility or Academic Accessibility, which I still really hope that's what it's called, but it's open to everyone, and so you can just go in there and be like, hey, I need help with this. I think I'm really having trouble learning like this. Would you be able to help me figure out a different way to learn? And like things like that. And like the help they might be able to give you might be different for each person. Like, obviously, like, I don't have, like, I don't know, like, my brother has, he just has slow mental processing speed, and so he takes a lot longer to complete tasks than most people his age. And so, like, for people like him, like, the Office of Accessibility might give him like longer test taking time or something like that. And so obviously you're not gonna like instantly just go in there and they're gonna be like, okay, you can have longer test taking time, because like obviously that might not help you. Like, your problem might be you, like, I mean, for someone like me, it's like I can know exactly where on the page something is in my notes, but then it's like I like close my eyes and I'm like, I don't even know what that says, but I know what it looks like and I know where on the page it is. Which is like why I like, yeah, like study methods can help anyone. So yeah. And yeah. Okay. Hey, people, be quiet. But yeah. Anyway. Why are they literally so loud? Oh my gosh, hey. But, but yeah. Anyway. Basically, get help if you need it. There's like no shame in that, and I'm still trying to figure that all out. Because it's hard when you're like, when growing up you're told, oh, you're really good at this, and then all of a sudden you're not good at something and you're like, oh no, there's something wrong, I'm not good. Yeah, so it's obviously stressful, and a lot of people experience that. Or like growing up you're told, oh, you're really bad at this, and then trying to figure out how to like handle the fact that, first of all, someone, if anyone ever tells you you're bad at something, like in a mean way, not like being like, oh, this isn't like your strongest thing, like, because obviously that's like constructive criticism, but being like, you're bad at math, like, for no reason, and like not offering you like help, like it's criticism without the construction. Like if someone ever says that to you, like someone did to me about acting when I was in high school, I like just, they're wrong, or maybe they're not wrong, but like it's none of their business, or maybe they're right and you can improve on that, but like you're doing your best and that's all that matters. And like doing your best does not mean getting the best results. Doing your best means putting in as much effort as you can. And I think I definitely used to be like, oh, doing your best means getting the best grade, not studying your hardest and then just going into the test and being like, whatever happens, happens. Yeah. I don't know. It's just school. The more I learn about the American school system, the more upset it makes me. But I don't know how we could change it, so it would take a long time to change it. But yeah, it's just all a struggle. And I think people like nowadays, they're, at least as far as I can tell, they're doing a little bit better. Like, I mean, like, they're at least trying to help my brother in his 4th grade classes. But, I mean, he's still struggling, and maybe that's just because we didn't, like, I don't know, not, like, we didn't, like, catch, like, his, like, symptoms and stuff early enough, and so he's already gotten into habits that, like, are, like, destructive, I guess. I mean, not destructive, like, just harmful or, like, distracting to him. So I don't know if that's why, but, I mean, they're doing a pretty good job, I think, as far as I can tell. And then, yeah. And then in colleges, I don't know. No one talks about, I mean, maybe this is just because of COVID, but, like, I don't know, like, anyone who's just like, oh yeah, I have to ask for, like, accommodations for tests. That's the word I was looking for, accommodations. The opposite of restrictions. That, I mean, it's not the opposite, but it's close enough. But, yeah. But, like, I don't know people who are, like, the only time people, like, my ex, when he broke his arm, they gave him accommodations, like, for longer test taking because he couldn't type super well, because he only could really use one hand. And so they gave him, like, longer test taking time. And then, like, at some point, like, before one of our tests, he, like, told me, he was like, yeah, I actually can type pretty fast now, because I'm a computer science major, and so obviously I had to get used to typing fast with my cast on. So I don't actually need the accommodations, but I'll take them if they're giving them to me. And I was like, well, okay. But yeah, like, that's the only time I've ever really heard anyone talk about accommodations. Like, and obviously, like, in the syllabus every single semester, they're like, because, like, they have to put it in there, like, if you need accommodations, like, talk to the Office of Accessibility, and then they'll talk to us, or whatever. But, like, I feel like I don't know anyone who's ever really gone. But, like, and I do know some people who have gone and who have been, like, there are some people who will, like, I mean, obviously this happens with any, like, type of, like, neurodiversity, but if you, like, someone went to the Office of Accessibility, someone who's friends with my roommate went to the Office of Accessibility, and she was, like, talking to them, she was like, yeah, I've, like, already been diagnosed with ADHD and stuff, and they were like, oh, don't tell your professors, because they'll, like, treat you differently. Or at least they're like, don't tell, like, these specific professors. Like, I think they're nursing major. Yeah, they're a nursing major. So if you're a nursing major, they're gonna do like, they're basically like, oh, these classes are going to be too hard for you, and so they like basically like take pity on you and stuff, which is like so dumb. Just be like, yeah, anyway, but yeah, so that's just one of the many things about American colleges that I'm like, and I'm sure it's not just American colleges, I'm sure other colleges have problems like this too. But I feel bad for my roommate's friend, because like, you're paying what, $50,000 a year to go to a school that's not teaching you in a way that you are like, that your brain can process well. Like, that is rough. Like, yeah, colleges in America are just, at least that's from what I can see, colleges in America are not meant for neurodiverse or mentally ill people. Wow, I really went from talking about the grapes outside my dorm to talking about learning disabilities. Okay. I'll finish it off with something fun. I want to talk about new musicals / music that I've gotten into. Let's see. I'm looking through my phone. I've been listening to Pippin a lot. I really like it. The 2013 revival cast, not the... I don't love the 1978 cast just cause it's like, it's so 1978. Like, oh, if I'm wrong, what if I'm wrong about the year? 1972, I am wrong about the year. I'm dumb. But yeah, I just love the new cast recording, and maybe it's because I love Rachel Bay Jones, but also like Patina Miller is just such a good leading player. I like a female leading player more than a male leading player. And then Matthew James Thompson obviously is amazing. Avenue Q, I've been listening to quite a bit too, because I'm singing a song from it for voice lessons. Footloose, I've been listening to a lot because I love Jennifer Lore Thompson. I started listening to Jagged Little Pill. I haven't listened through the whole thing yet. Oh my gosh, I have had Agatha All Along from WandaVision stuck in my head for weeks since it came out, which, oh my gosh, it's so stuck in my head all the time. I haven't listened to the whole thing of Fly By Night, but I'm considering listening to it. Come From Away, I've been listening to a lot. I've been listening to like a lot of like either like older musicals or like from like early 2010s musicals. Oh, You're in Town I got really into. And again, because of Jennifer Lore Thompson and Hunter Foster. I love both of them. I'm trying to think, what other music have I been listening to recently? AJR. Oh, their new album comes out soon. Yeah. I don't know when it comes out. I should find out. Dodie is supposed to be releasing a new album soon. In May, though. I think. It was supposed to be sooner, but then it had to get pushed back because of COVID. And Ben Platt is releasing a new album soon. Hopefully 2021 will be the year of the good music. Yeah. Oh, I've been listening to Midnight Radio from the Riverdale Hedwig and the Angry Inch episode. Oh my gosh. It's just because of that one part in it where it's like, anyone who like I've talked to recently probably has heard me say this at some point, but it's the part in the original musical. He's saying, oh wait, let me just make sure this is right. In the original one, Neil Patrick Harris is singing it, which obviously is much better than all the Riverdale people, but he's saying all the names of like famous like feminist singers / just female singers, but in Riverdale they're just saying the names of the characters and it's so cringy. And Cole Sprouse can't sing, like sorry buddy, you can't sing. KJ Apa kind of can't sing either. What's her name? Camila Mendes, is that her name? I think that's her name. Yeah, Camila Mendes and Madeline Petch. I don't know how to say her name, so I'm just not gonna say it anymore. And yeah, they're the ones who can't sing. And then Lily Reinhart and Casey Cott are the ones who can sing. So yeah, but there's just this part where they go, oh, this is embarrassing, but it's funny. Just Jughead is supposed to be singing, he's like, and Betty, and it sounds so bad. Oh, it's so funny. Wait, now I kind of want to listen to it. And I know I know Curtis Connor literally did this on his podcast, where he literally listened to this clip, but that's because it's funny. That's because it's really funny. Where is it? Here's to Ronnie. I've literally looked this up so many times. Here's to Ronnie and Archie and Betty and Jughead. I love how it says the first comment, or the top comment, is everyone cheered when Betty started singing, which is true. But also Casey got, his voice is kind of not good in this song. Like, it's just not. Okay, also I hate Skittles commercials, let me just say. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying not to get copyrighted, but I probably will. Okay, wait. And Betty, Jughead. Oh, it's so funny. The comments, just, you can tell at this point they want to quit their job. Why does Jughead sound like he's about to kill someone when he says Betty? Oh. Song for the fight against COVID-19. Oh. This is awful. Here's to Ronnie. Oh, why does it make me laugh so hard? I swear, if Riverdale makes me take this out, don't copyright me. I'm just saying, here's to Ronnie and Archie and Betty. Okay. Oh gosh. Someone said, anyone else think Cole did so good in this episode? He did not. He did not. Oh, that's really funny. Losing someone in the comments said, losing my mind, the disrespect to Miss Hedwig. Oh, yeah, no, okay. That's the end of this episode. I can't do this anymore. I'm just looking at comments about this. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Leave a comment or a review if you're on Apple, or I don't know if you can leave reviews on Spotify. If you can, though, leave a review. And like rate it 5 stars or whatever. Just because it makes me feel good. Not that I'm expecting anyone else to listen to this, like, other than my friends or whatever. But, so it's not like I'm trying to, like, promote it to, like, the algorithm, you know. But I think it's funny. Also, if enough people start listening to it on YouTube, then I might be able to apply for monetization, and then I can get that coin. So, as if anyone is gonna listen to it. But yeah, I don't know what else I had to say. Yeah, so hopefully next episode will be a little bit more structured. This one I just kind of like was like, I don't know, just go off. And so I did. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye.